Good afternoon, good morning. It's Mark Johnson from Loyalty 360. On Tuesday, December 5th at noon East Coast time, Loyalty 360 will present another virtual workshop in our ongoing Loyalty University series, which, as you know, are taught by experienced embedded supplier partners of Loyalty 360 for our growing brand membership. This edition will focus on ways brands can effectively implement gamification into their loyalty program strategies. The session on gamification will be presented by Aaron Lobliner. He's the Chief Client Officer at CataBoom. Aaron, how are you today?
I'm good. Happy to talk.
Can you give us a brief overview of what you plan to present to our audience?
Absolutely. I think it should be a fun session, number one. Like, it's gamification and pricing and promotions and how we're amplifying loyalty programs and strategies, right? So I think the key there is, like, gamification should be fun. Like, a lot of times we get so serious, and it should be serious, but what I like to say is we do serious fun. And so the whole idea is, like, how are we doing this from a technology set, but also how brands are activating using this. And so the idea of the session is, let's talk about the strategies behind it. Let's talk about the real life use cases, and then we'll actually play some games together so we can actually see how this comes about. Should be fun.
Who will benefit most from attending this Loyalty University session?
Probably humans. Like, most humans should benefit from it. But the reality, like, loyalty marketers, I think, are going to be a really great audience for this. I also think brand marketers would get a ton of benefit. And actually, even agency teams. I think as you understand application of loyalty and amplification and gamification, understanding that ability of how to use these things as a tool in your toolbox of things to do is just going to help everybody kind of level up some of the things that they can run into 2024, with abandon.
What are a few key takeaways attendees can expect to learn from your Loyalty University session?
Well, I think there's a couple things. So the first is there's actually a psychology to doing this. And I want to talk about in the session about motivation and what drives engagement. We want to talk about things around kind of optimizing the value exchange. Like, how are we trading value to get value in order to drive behavior change? And the gamification as a tool, going back to what we talked about already, of how we use that to amplify the value exchange. It's other things we'll talk about is, like, here's other applications so we can have some inspiration from how other brands are doing it around the world, right? Because there's application, whether it's in one country or another. Also, like, how do we measure it? How are brands measuring it? What are they using to understand and evaluate success? And then also, like, even dive into some things that may be unexpected. Like, I want to talk about pricing strategies. Like, there are actually, people, instead of just like, oh, I'm just going to do a prize for this or a sweepstakes, like, do we realize there's actually very specific ways that we can optimize pricing within these kind of mechanics? So those are a handful of things. And there's a few other things I have up my sleeves, although they're short sleeves, that we can do some really fun stuff with.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us, Aaron. Looking forward to the presentation on the 5th. This will be available to all members, brand members of Loyalty 360. And if you have any questions regarding the presentation, or if there's something you would like to see discussed, please feel free to email Carly or myself, and we'll make sure that it's covered. Have a wonderful day.